The story of the CD-ROM begins not with computers, but with music. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, companies like Philips and Sony were working on a new way to store audio. They wanted something better than vinyl records or cassette tapes. This led to the compact disc, or CD, for music. The Red Book standard for these audio CDs was set in 1980. Soon after, engineers realized this same technology could hold computer data. This new type of disc was called a cd-rom, which stands for Compact Disc Read-Only Memory. The Yellow Book standard for CD-ROMs appeared in 1985. These shiny discs used a laser to read tiny pits and lands, storing information digitally, a truly revolutionary concept for the time and a departure from magnetic floppy disks. Before CD-ROMs, getting large amounts of data onto a computer was a real challenge. Big software programs often came on a whole stack of floppy disks. You had to insert one, wait for it to load, then insert the next one, and so on. It was slow and sometimes frustrating if one disk failed. Then came the CD-ROM, a single disk that could hold around 650 megabytes of data. This was an enormous amount compared to the floppy disks of the day, which might hold just over 1 megabyte. Imagine trying to fit an entire encyclopedia onto floppy disks. It would take hundreds. But in 1989, Compton's encyclopedia was released on a single CD-ROM, a milestone that showcased the immense potential. This new capacity dramatically changed how people accessed information and software. Suddenly, developers could create much larger and more complex programs. Games, for instance, exploded with detailed graphics, full-motion video clips, and richer sound. A landmark game like Myst, released in 1993, simply wouldn't have been possible without the vast storage space offered by CD-ROMs. Its immersive world captivated players and demonstrated the power of multimedia. Schools, libraries, and businesses also benefited as they could now provide access to large databases, reference materials, and extensive software suites on a convenient and durable medium. It was a gateway to a new digital world for many. When CD-ROM drives first appeared, they were quite expensive. They were often add-on peripherals that only enthusiasts or businesses could afford. A typical drive in the very early 1990s might cost hundreds of dollars. However, like many new technologies, prices began to fall rapidly as manufacturing scaled up and competition increased. By the mid-1990s, CD-ROM drives became a standard component in new personal computers. Software companies eagerly embraced the format because it allowed them to distribute their increasingly large applications more efficiently and cheaply than dozens of floppies. This widespread adoption marked a significant step forward for personal computing, making powerful tools and rich media accessible to a much broader audience. As CD-ROMs became common, people started wanting even more storage. This was especially true for video. Full-length movies required a lot of digital space, far more than a standard CD-ROM could comfortably hold. Several major electronics companies began working on a next-generation optical disc. For a while, it looked like there might be a confusing format war, similar to the VHS versus Betamax battle for videotapes. Philips and Sony developed one type of high-capacity disc, while a group including Toshiba and Time Warner developed another. Thankfully, in 1995, these groups agreed to a single standard, the DVD. The name originally stood for Digital Video Disc, but later became Digital Versatile Disc to reflect its many uses beyond just movies. The most significant improvement DVDs offered over CD-ROMs was their storage capacity. A basic single-layer DVD could store 4.7 gigabytes of data. This was roughly 7 times more information than a typical CD-ROM. Furthermore, DVDs could be dual-layer, nearly doubling that capacity to about 8.5 gigabytes. This massive increase in space was a game-changer, particularly for video. Movies on DVD could have much higher picture quality than VHS tapes. They also had enough room for extra features like director's commentary, behind-the-scenes documentaries, deleted scenes, and multiple language tracks, enhancing the viewing experience significantly for movie buffs. The impact of DVDs on home entertainment was profound. They quickly replaced VHS tapes as the preferred format for watching movies at home. Video rental stores, once filled with bulky VHS cassettes, transformed their shelves to accommodate the slimmer DVD cases. People began to build personal movie collections on DVD, appreciating the superior video and audio quality, as well as the durability of the discs compared to tapes. DVDs also supported advanced audio formats like Dolby Digital 5.1 surround sound, which helped turn living rooms into home theaters. This shift fundamentally changed how families and individuals consumed movies and television shows for many years. Beyond movies, DVDs also had a substantial impact on computer gaming and general data storage. Game consoles, most notably the Sony PlayStation 2, adopted the DVD format. This allowed game developers to create much larger, more graphically detailed and immersive game worlds than were possible on cd-rom-based systems. For personal computer users, software applications that had grown too large even for multiple CDs could now often fit onto a single DVD. Additionally, for backing up important computer files, DVDs provided a significant increase in capacity over recordable CDs, making it easier to safeguard larger amounts of personal and business data. It was a logical and welcome upgrade across many digital domains. For a significant period, optical drives, whether CD or DVD, were indispensable. Nearly every desktop computer and most laptops came equipped with one. They were the primary means of installing software, playing movies, and listening to music albums. However, the technological landscape is always shifting. The rise of high-capacity, affordable USB flash drives provided a convenient way to transfer files. More crucially, internet speeds began to increase dramatically. This paved the way for a digital distribution. People started downloading software directly from websites and streaming movies and music from online services. The need for physical discs began to wane as digital delivery became faster and more convenient. The next evolution in optical media was Blu-ray. Championed by Sony and its partners, Blu-ray discs offered even greater storage capacities, typically 25 gigabytes for a single-layer disc and 50 gigabytes for a dual-layer one. This vast space was essential for high-definition movies, providing the pristine picture and sound quality that HD televisions could display. Blu-ray eventually won a brief format war against HD DVD. However, it never achieved the same level of market dominance that DVD had enjoyed. By the time Blu-ray players became more affordable and common, online streaming services for HD content were already gaining significant traction, leading many consumers to bypass physical HD media altogether. Today, in 2025, built-in optical drives are becoming increasingly rare, especially in newer computers. Laptop manufacturers, in their quest for thinner and lighter designs, are often the first to omit them. For desktop computers, they are often an optional component rather than a standard feature. The primary reasons are clear. Most software is now downloaded, music is predominantly streamed or purchased as digital files, and video streaming services have largely replaced the need to buy or rent movies on physical discs. For the occasional times when an optical drive is needed, users can purchase relatively inexpensive external drives that connect via a USB port, offering flexibility without built-in bulk. Despite this decline, optical drives haven't vanished entirely. They continue to serve important niche markets. Many movie enthusiasts and collectors still prefer Blu-ray discs and even Ultra HD Blu-rays for their superior, uncompressed video and audio quality, which can surpass what streaming services typically offer. Certain types of specialized or large-scale enterprise software are still distributed on disc. Furthermore, archival professionals in some businesses value optical media like M-discs for long-term data storage, believing them to be a stable and durable solution for preserving important information for decades, provided they are stored under proper conditions. These specialized uses ensure their continued, albeit limited, relevance. As the era of optical discs like CDs and DVDs fades for mainstream use, we look towards what will store our ever-increasing amounts of digital information. Cloud storage has already become a dominant force. Many of us entrust our photos, documents, music libraries, and critical backups to online services. This offers incredible convenience, allowing access to our data from virtually any device with an internet connection anywhere in the world. However, this reliance also means we depend on the continued operation of these cloud companies, their security measures, and, of course, a stable internet connection. It represents a fundamental shift from physically owning our storage media to renting space on remote servers. Inside our computers and portable devices, solid-state drives have largely revolutionized local storage. Unlike traditional hard disk drives that use spinning platters and moving read-write heads, SSDs use flash memory, similar to that in USB drives. This means they have no moving parts, making them much faster, more durable, and more energy efficient. The price of SSDs has been steadily decreasing while their capacities have been increasing. This same flash memory technology powers the ubiquitous USB drives and memory cards. Future developments will likely bring even smaller, faster, and higher capacity solid-state storage, perhaps integrating terabytes of storage into incredibly tiny chips. Looking further into the future, scientists are exploring even more advanced and somewhat exotic data storage technologies. One of the most talked about concepts is DNA storage. Deoxyribonucleic acid, the molecule that carries genetic information in living organisms, has an incredibly high data density. Theoretically, all the world's current data could be stored in a relatively small amount of DNA. It's also exceptionally durable, potentially lasting for thousands of years. Another area of research is holographic storage, which aims to record data throughout the three-dimensional volume of a medium, not just on its surface, promising huge capacities. These technologies are still in the experimental phases, but show the innovative thinking being applied to our future storage needs. In summary, the journey of optical data storage, from the groundbreaking cd-rom to the high-capacity Blu-ray, has been one of constant evolution, driven by our desire for more space and better quality. Each step dramatically changed how we interacted with software, games, movies, and music. Now, as physical discs become less central to our digital lives, we are embracing cloud services and advanced flash memory. Yet the fundamental need to store, access, and preserve our digital world continues to grow exponentially. The innovations of tomorrow, whether they involve DNA, holograms, or something entirely unimagined, will undoubtedly shape the next chapters in the ongoing story of data storage.